Our history starts with a bank founded during the Second World War. A bank with an eventful destiny that has prioritized the development of countries in the South and the French overseas territories. Our history is the history of Agence Française de Développement. It started 75 years ago and has been written throughout the course of history. 1940, far from Vichy, Free France retreated to its overseas territories. How could the war be fought with no funding? The solution came from London. 1941, Général de Gaulle set up a fund in London for Free France, the Caisse Centrale de la France Libre, with the support of our British allies. The new fund's area of influence rapidly spread to a number of African countries. 1944, the Brazzaville Conference saw the dawn of a new era by recognizing the importance of the colonies. It stressed the need for development. This idea guided the institution's action in the post-war period. 1945, the liberation was followed by reconstruction. New resources needed to be found for development to really take off. The new fund for overseas France, the Caisse Centrale de la France d'Outre-mer, was created. Our monetary role was reduced so we could focus more on our new activity. Project financing. Modernizing agriculture and industry, building ports and power plants. From the outset, we took a practical and long-term approach. The 1960s. The wave of independence in Africa changed the situation, while the Cold War raised the spectre of a global conflict. In this context, France wished to maintain a close relationship with its former colonies. Our institution was renamed Caisse Centrale de Coopération Économique. We became a very specific type of banker, not only discussing financing for projects, but also their quality and feasibility. 1973, oil crisis. Economies were destabilized. While the oil price surge brought about a period of prosperity in producing countries, the upturn was short-lived. The word crisis appeared and was to stay for a long time. Financial relations with the Third World became strained due to over-indebtedness. The 1980s were marked by a period of structural adjustments. But this was not enough to return to a path of development. France subsequently changed its policy. We allocated grants to the countries with the greatest difficulties without departing from our activity as a banker. We continued this activity by extending our geographical area, and our action took on a global dimension. The 1990s, end of the Cold War, acceleration of globalization, development assistance became more complex. European institutions, civil society, and local authorities started to play an increasingly important role. In 1992, the Rio Earth Summit made sustainable development a common objective for the entire planet, and therefore a key issue for AFD. The fight against climate change was included in the international cooperation agenda. It is today more than ever a core priority for AFD. The same year, we became Caisse Française de Développement. 1998, we officially became Agence Française de Développement. In this context, the government redefined and clarified our mandate. It extended our poverty reduction activities to education and health. 2014, the International Development and Solidarity Act recognized the importance of the work achieved by AFD to support France's international commitments. 2015, Addis Ababa Conference on Financing for Development. Adoption at the United Nations of the 17 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Paris Climate Agreement. Development actors announce a shared goal. Act together from the north to the south. The future challenges of the planet unite us. A new era begins for development assistance. 2016. This historical turning point calls for responses which are up to the mark. France is reviving its development policy with ambitious objectives. 4 billion euros of additional financing by 2020, including 2 billion euros for the climate. Closer ties between AFD and the Caisse des dépôts et consignations, which is opening up new horizons. France is underscoring its role in the community of nations. We will be the architects of this commitment. We are over 2,000 officers with 80 nationalities working in over 90 countries. We are the actors of a world in common that is more just and more sustainable. We are committed to the future. We are Agence Française de Développement.